Well, good morning. I'm at one of my favorite places called Black Mountain. It's above Crab Orchard. Been here a few times and coming back. Love the view up here. We're gonna check out a few places and ginormous towers and interesting radar facilities up here. We'll look at them. Trail starts just right by the parking area where the big tower is. Very well, heavily visited, so you won't have any trouble. Beautiful day today. It's approaching the end of March. Probably be in the mid 50s before the day's out. Interesting story is that there's a doctor named Dr. Gill from Cornell University. He was in upstate New York. He somehow found this property, 500 plus acres, and he bought it for his summer home. Remnants of two homes up here. One was the caretaker and one was his. Two structures still standing is the old spring house, and then a couple of chimneys we'll look at. Bought this in 1890. Now it was only accessible by horse and probably a wagon, so man, what a change to go from New York to on top of this mountain. Interesting what happened afterwards. After he died, the wife used the land for helping children come up, camp, that type thing. But here's the spring house. Still running nicely. You can see a little dipped out area where they scoop the water. One other structure still standing is one of the chimneys. But it's nice spending a lot of time off trail. Means falling a lot, getting slapped in the face with limbs and cut up with briars, so occasionally one of these good clean trails is a good experience. Way across the way is the Watts Bar nuclear plant. It's been going pretty heavy. And Watts Bar Lake is over on that opposite side. We were up here less than a week ago on that opposite hill going down into Spring City and noticed going into Grassy Cove, which is what you're kind of looking at right now, part of it. And anyway, there's a wildfire and it looks like it's still kind of going on over there. In fact, it looks like it's gotten a little bit bigger. Grassy Cove is the world's largest sinkhole, by the way. All the water goes into the ground under the mountain and comes out on the other side at what they call head of the Sequatchie. Another story I wanted to relate was one by a young man named Paul Adams. He was just a young fellow, like in his late teens. He helped start Mount LeConte and was part of the effort to get the Smoky Mountains created. When I was in my late teens, getting national parks started wasn't on the agenda, but after that he moved to Crab Orchard at the base of Black Mountain, spent the rest of his life exploring these bluffs. Very interesting story. One of the more interesting things up here is this tower of some sort, probably navigation for possibly military, not sure. Been there a long time though. Sort of like where I hike in Big South Fork, my odds crack, but I've got a set of steps. It's just a big boulder field down here. Very, very huge boulders. This trail is unique in that you can do so much with it. You can combine it with other trips. You can park up here and you can go to Ozone Falls and go the opposite direction and go to Grassy Cove Overlook, hike all the way down to head of Sequatchie, and I can't tell you if the trail from there to Stinging Fork is open or not, but or you can just do the overlook and drive down the mountain to somewhere like Piney Creek Falls and just make a day of it. It's just located to where you can do a little standalone trip, or you can just combine it with a whole lot of things. We're walking around the base where we were just standing a while ago, the overlook. And right up there is where we were standing a while ago with the big overlook. Alrighty, got to the bottom of the bluff and trails are getting kind of unmaintained to say the least. Turned around, came back up a draw. Got me a little bit out of breath, but came out right here in front of the big radar deal. So I'm gonna head back. Okay, the third structure standing, the second chimney and foundation. I'm betting this is where the Dr. Gill lived. Foundation, below the chimney, looked like a cellar of some kind. Had a very, very big chimney. No doubt the old road they rode in from the bottom at Crab Orchard. As mentioned earlier, kind of a horse and wagon type trail. Alright, I'm heading back to the car. Been up to Black Mountain, it's above Crab Orchard. Follow the signs, Cumberland Mountain, and part of the trail system. Mentioned before, it's a series of trails that will eventually be linked up from Chattanooga all the way up to the state line. Hope to someday parallel the Appalachian Trail and give through hikers another alternative, but it's been a very, very slow process getting easements and getting everything connected. But at any rate, very fascinating little place. I've been here many times, enjoyed every trip, found something new every trip. Today we went out to the overlook, which is probably the reason you come here to begin with. Went down and followed the bluff line all the way around till I stood underneath the overlook. Backtracked, came back to, I mentioned earlier, there are 3 structures still standing from Dr. Gill's home place. 2 chimneys, foundation, and a spring house. Found all of them. Gonna head back to the car. Hope you enjoyed it and would recommend coming up here one day. Talk to you later.